Back to the channel, guys. Here we are at another residential. What we're doing today is a little bit different. We're replacing just a coil. So you really don't have to replace the entire system if your evap coil is leaking. Here we have a system that overall is working pretty good, but the evap coil has a small leak. What we're doing today is putting on a 454B evap coil on an R410A system. So something a little bit different, but what we're gonna do is put an R410A TXV on this 454B coil to make it backwards compatible. It's gonna work great with the current system, and when the guy's ready to replace his condenser, the whole system's gonna be ready for that point to kind of swap things back, flush things out, and he won't have to replace his coil twice. So come on, check out the process as we go ahead and do this, and we'll explain a little bit more as we go. Trying to protect my lungs, my allergies. When I'm in the attic, the mask's on. So say goodbye to my beautiful face, because the rest of the video, I'm gonna be like this. Oh, okay, we got it. I think we got it. Okay, so we have some of our components out of the way here. We're opening us up to take this entire box out. We have the flue vent adapter here out of the way. I've already removed the condensate drain line, cut it out of my way here. And now I'm working on separating my supply plenum. After that, we're gonna separate it from the furnace. We're gonna try to get this entire box out of the way. Of course, after we cut our line set here. So let's show you how we do that. And I've got these two sides separated, and I've got this as far as I can reach pretty separated. Now I'm gonna have to go over to the back and get the rest. Okay. Hey, I made it. There it goes. All right. Beautiful. We've got our plenum separated. Okay, so we've got our coil separated from our supply plenum. Now, Evan, if you want to work on cutting the copper away, what I'll do is start separating it from the furnace side. Guys, if you're gonna last in this industry, you have to make sure that you're protecting your knees. You can use really any sort of pad, but I like the CLC kneeling pad. Throw those down, especially when you're working in an attic like this, when you're spending a lot of time like crouching down. This makes a huge difference. And you'll last longer rather than giving up or getting frustrated because your knees are bothering you and you keep catching it on screws and hurting yourself in the attic. Guys, let's talk about TXVs real quick. So this is the R410. This is the R410A TXV that was installed on this Lennox leaking coil. You can see here the sticker says R410A on it. And what this does is this actually, if you're new to the industry or even if you're a homeowner and you want to understand more about your system, what the TXV does is meter the flow of refrigerant, and it changes the state of the refrigerant, causing it to flash off and causing it to actually go from a high pressure hot liquid to a low pressure cold liquid gas mixture. When a technician is telling you that your TXV needs to be replaced, this is what he's talking about. The way that this TXV works, as opposed to a fixed orifice or a piston system, is it's actually able to meter and change the flow of the refrigerant based on the temperature of the line. How that works is this TXV has a sensing bowl. And this right here, what I'm holding in my right hand, is a sensing bowl. It has its own separate charge of refrigerant. And that refrigerant will change pressure based on the temperature. And so if this sensing bulb is strapped to a cold line, the colder the line gets, the lower the pressure gets of this refrigerant, because that temperature changes the pressure. And that pressure will then go through this little capillary tube and push on a diaphragm needle that's inside this. And that's how this valve actually adjusts the flow based on the temperature of the line. And so we're going to do a little bit of a science experiment here real quick. You can see that this thermal expansion valve is separated from the system, completely cut out. So I'm going to point this fan away from me in case that throws things off a little bit. And I'm going to try to break this off and see if we can hear the separate charge of refrigerant leak out from the sensing bulb. I'm going to hold it close to my mic here. See if I can break it. I'm sure you heard that. But that was the separate charge of refrigerant that's in this bulb that's completely isolated from your regular refrigerant flow. So that's science experiments with Due-All, and we're gonna get back to work now. Okay, so I believe we have all the components separated from this coil. We have our flue vent out of the way. We have our drain line, our PVC drain line cut away. Evan's got our line set moved out of the way. We have our supply plenum separated, and we have pretty much all the screws that's holding the bracketing in. And so there's really not much holding this coil in place right now. We're gonna work on extracting it here, and we'll see how that goes. Let's see, where is my hammer? Sometimes you have to use a little bit of persuasion. Oh yeah, she's coming out. Go ahead and try to let it rock towards the one side. Push your bracket in towards the frames. See if you can let it rock. She's free. Okay. All right, guys, we got her out. Let's get a little close up on why we are replacing this right now. You can see right in here. See how dark and rusty this is? Also how it looks kind of oily. This is a refrigerant leak. At least this is what it looks like at the evap coil. You get some corrosion, some rust, and you can see how down here close to where the coil makes contact with the condensation is where it's going to deteriorate the worst. And we're seeing that it looks like almost dark and oily, as opposed to up here, it's rusty, but you can see that the copper is dry and kind of dusty looking, especially compare this point right here to this point down here. And you can see the difference. Now, right in here is where his refrigerant leak is, or multiple small refrigerant leaks. And that's why we're replacing this entire case coil box. You know, it's too bad that they don't make these attics more accessible and more service friendly for replacing items, but they don't. So at this point, we might get lucky and only have to take off this trim work here and this trim work here. We're gonna start there. The tape measure shows that that should fit. So we're gonna start by removing this trim work so that we can get our old coil out, but more importantly, our new coil in without breaking it down or having to bend or scratch anything, hopefully. Trim pieces kind of isolated, separated. This first piece off. Okay, now we're gonna try to save this for the custom. Okay, that's one. And that's three. All right. You ready? Wow, it's so tight. Okay, lean it against the ladder. Talk about a tight fit. Let it lean against the ladder, and I'll just walk it down.
I got it.
Let it lean against the ladder.
It is.
Okay, let it come down. It's like that corner, you feel it?
It's because of the line set.
Oh, there it goes. All right, lean it against the ladder and just let me walk it down. Okay, let it lean.
Got it?
Yeah.
Let it go?
Yeah. Okay, guys, we got it. We've extracted the egg. All right, Mr. Blue Collar, let's see what you got. Whoa. Oh, shoot. All right, watch it when you get to the opening. Okay, pause real quick.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Push it, let it go closer to the ladder. Okay, there you go. Dude, don't flip it. Let it stay standing straight up because of the line set. You got it, man. True blue collar. Works harder and doesn't like Teslas. All right, go to your home. Get in there. Okay. This is its new home. Guys, I am not joking with you. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that these are my absolute favorite boots. Brunt workwear, bro. Check them out. Crawling around in attics, walking on commercial roofs, stairs at multifamily housing. I mean, these things are my literal best friend. And they've been right there with me. These are the only boots I've been wearing for years now, and they last better than any boot I've ever tried. So give Brunt workwear a try, give Brunt boots a try, and check out the link in my bio. You could go ahead and get 10% off, and you'll be supporting me as well. So get your Brunts, get them with my link, save yourself some money. You will not regret it. Got it. So we showed you the old coil. We showed you how rusted and corroded it was. You saw the oil stains and the refrigerant leakage. Now this is what a coil should look like. Look at this beautiful coil. This is a brand new coil, obviously, and look at the difference from what the old one looked like with all the rust and corrosion to what this new coil looks like. And so now what I'm going to start doing is installing the R410A TXV to make this new coil backwards compatible with his existing condensing unit. Okay, just slide this baby out a little bit to work on it. Okay, this is crazy. This TXV and this brand new coil is broken. Wow, I don't know what the odds of that are. Remember how we broke ours and we listened to the charge leak out, but this brand new one not only broke from here, but it looks like someone soldered it closed at the top. What if we would have did all this work to install this coil, and if we were needing to use this TXV? That's insane. So here we have the TXV that came with the new unit. This has been extracted, setting that aside. And now we have the R410A rated TXV that we're going to install on this coil here to make sure that this new coil is compatible with the existing system. Even though this is a brand new coil, the TXV I just took off is brand new, I'm still going to replace these seals because they have already been tightened down once. And when I tighten them down again here, I want to make sure that I have a really good snug connection. So putting a new fresh seal on. And now to work on getting this thing in place. A little bit of a tight spot here. Okay. It's nice to have a really small wrench like this to work with, a small adjustable wrench, because when you're getting in tight spots like this, I mean, it's just almost necessary to have something this small that it can allow you to get into tight spots and do what it is you have to do. I got this one from AutoZone, which is probably not the first place you would think about when looking for HVAC tools, but shout out to AutoZone. And yeah, new guys, if you're looking for cheap tools, little something like this, check out AutoZone. The guys are going to go in and be like, hey, do you have those small adjustable wrenches? And they're going to be like, make and model. And you're like, no, I'm just looking for an adjustable wrench, like year, make and model. Next step of the process here is to braze or weld in our new coil. We've got our line set fitted up here with new copper adapters, and we're going to be brazing with oxygen, acetylene, and 15% silver. Something that's super important when you braze is to make sure that you're flowing nitrogen through the system to eliminate the chance of oxidization in the line, causing a contamination, a buildup, and ultimately a restriction in your system. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and braze this up because we already have the nitrogen flowing through the system. A small air leak the size of a screw hole on your system is the equivalent to like 1 CFM, so 1 cubic foot per minute of air volume lost to this unconditioned space. And so that's kind of emphasizes how important it is to seal up everything properly and take the time to seal up any small little gaps, because even something as small as a screw hole is really significant and you wouldn't think it would be. And unfortunately, a lot of guys just don't care and they just don't seal it up right and they don't want to take the time to. But I mean, why do all this and then skimp on that kind of smaller stuff? It's like, seal it up. Thanks, Evan. Seal it up. Check for air leaks, shine a light on it and look for gaps. Take an extra couple of minutes just to make sure everything's sealed up properly, because you're doing your customer a disservice, and you're doing yourself a disservice too if you're not gonna seal things up properly. Need some of this. Pretty sure this is one of the last things we'll have, is hooking up the drain line and putting the flue vent back, and then we'll be able to start testing it. We have a very nice pitch down towards here. We've got our primary side with a heat trap and an air vent, and then we also have our secondary hooked up to drain as well. So it seems like that's been doing good for him. For this unit's like 13 years old. It seems like he's had minimal drainage issues, and so we're staying with the same setup that he had before. This is a pretty good drain setup because it is a positive pressure drain, and so you can actually feel the airflow pushing out, and you know, that's actually going to be helpful for keeping this drain from clogging up over time. All right, guys. We've completed the project here. We have the new coil installed. Like I was saying earlier, this coil is rated for R454B. What we did was install an R410A to make this system, this coil, compatible with the existing system. Make sure it's compatible with the existing condenser. The client feels that the existing condenser still has a lot of life left in it. Wasn't ready to replace this whole system, and that's okay. So it's important to make sure that you're catering to the client's needs, to the client's wants, that you're listening to your customer. He just wanted his refrigerant leak taken care of, and we even took it one step further to help him make sure his refrigerant leak was taken care of. We got his whole coil replaced, but at the same time, we thought ahead and made sure that his coil was going to be compatible for if and when he needs to replace his condenser outside, because it is 13 years old. And the only thing we'll have to do at that point is reflush the system and replace the thermal expansion valve and make sure it's compatible with R454B again at that point, and put an R454B condenser on at that point. I got Evan outside sending me updates. We're doing a run test. We're just wrapping up right now. We're looking at a 6-degree subcooling so far. We're looking at 11.8 degrees superheat. This system is blowing out at 58 degrees right now on a humid day. It's doing good. It's doing great. So everything's looking like it's starting to line up the way that it should. Just rehooked up the drain line. We didn't change a lot with his existing setup. He just needed his coil replaced, you know. If I was up to me, I probably would have went ahead and put on a float switch. I would have went ahead and maybe even did some other things, but he wasn't ready to do that. And you know, that's always stuff we can come back and do later. It's important just to listen to the client, listen to their needs, and give them what they want at the end of the day. This is what he wanted. This is what he got. We rerouted his line set over here, soldered it in, rehooked up his drain. We have his drains all supported properly here. We got his flue vent back installed, the coil sealed back to the plenum. Everything's starting to work great right now. Like I said, 58 degrees blowing out. The only thing left to do now is to clean up, get all our trash and mess out of here, get all our tools out of here, and catch you on the next one. Stay cool.